Welcome to Math 1314 Review and Practice, Week 12, Part 3. We will continue with number 19 in this series. As we look at 25 and 125, we're thinking about the base 5. 5 squared, that is 25, and then we have 5 cubed, that is 125. So we will rewrite this one as 5 squared, and then outside we still keep the exponent 3x minus 7. Remember, we already reviewed last time, if we have a root or the index numbers, okay, of base a to the power p, you can rewrite it at a, still the same base, power on the top, and then over, I call it like round, so over the root is under the round. So that's how I memorize the formula. So you can write down 4 root of 125. You can write down at 125. To the powers is always 1. Any number will be write with the power of 1. So 1 over 4. So the root is here. The power is here. And then the base is whatever number under square root or the root. So I will write down this one at 125 1 over 4. And then now I will replace the 125 with 5 cubed. And still keep the exponent outside. And we remember the formulas of power to the power, that will be a, the product of the powers. So we will have 5, 2 times 3x minus 7 equal 5, 3 times 1, 4. And we remember last time we said that we always want to put something in form of b to the power of a equal b, the same base, to the power of c, and then if that happens, we imply that the exponent will be the same. Because the base is the same, so the exponent has to be the same. That will make the statement true. Based on that, this exponent on the left-hand side will be equal to the exponent on the right-hand side. Okay, so we have 2 times 3x minus 7 equal 3, 4. To avoid working with the fractions at the right-hand side, I will multiply both sides by 4. So that I cancel the 4 at the bottom on the right hand side, and then I would continue distribute. So 4 times 2 is 8. Now we distribute the 8 inside. 8 times 3x is 24x. 8 times negative 7 is negative 56 equal 3. Now we will isolate the x terms by add 56 both sides. So that we cancel that, we left with 24x equal 59. And then we can isolate x to solve for x by divide both sides by 24. Now that's gone. We have left with x on the left hand side equal 59 over 24. And we can check the divisible by 2 is not divisible by 2 since 9 is the odd numbers. Divisible by 3 is not because 59 when you take 5 at 9 that is 14. 14 cannot divisible by 3, so 59 is not divisible by 3. So if not divisible by 2 is not divisible by 4 as well, since 59 could not divisible by 4. The last two digits of the numbers will tell you about that. 5, the last one digits the last digits of the numbers. If it's 0 or 5, it will be divisible by 5, but if it's not, then it's not. So we check most of the small numbers and it's not divisible by them. Okay, so we will saying this is the simplifications, the simplest form of the ratio, so we just keep it as it is. Okay, so let's review some of the formula for this one. Remember that if we have 1 out of a to the power of negative n, you will have it equal a to the power of n because you flip it. Or if you have a to the power of negative n, you will flip it and then make it becomes positive exponent. Okay, so you look at the right hand side, that will be the case. And then when we're looking at numbers 3, 4, 3, is it familiar to me because I know it's the base 7. And this is the 7th cube. Okay. And then I look at 49, that is 7 square. And even if I'm not familiar with the 343, that number 343, I'm still guessing it's base 7 since I look at 49 on this side, and I'm guessing people will not do something really like complicated. So I will checking by take this one and then divide by 7. Then I will know that will be 49, and that is 7 times 7. So I know that is 7 times 7 is 49, and then times one more 7 to get that. So it's 7 cubed. Okay, so we will rewrite this one as 7 cubed and keep the exponent outside equal. Now you see that the 3x minus 5, that will be the exponent outside. Now the inside is you have 1 over 49, that is 1 over 7 squared, that is 7 to the power of negative 2. So I will rewrite that as 7 to the power of negative 2. Okay, now we apply the formula we just reviewed in the previous questions. We will have 7 is the base, okay, so m is 3 and then n is x plus 4. We rewrite the right hand side as well, 3x minus 5. Now we have the same base, the exponent will be the same, so we set them equal each other and then we solve for x. Now we have to distribute, so we have 3x at 12, that equal minus 6x plus 10. Okay, now we will add 6x both sides. Now this one gone, we have 9x on this side. Okay, Now we will minus 12 both sides. So that this is gone, and then we have minus 2. Then we'll divide both sides by 9. Now you will have x equal negative 2 over 9. Now we go back to the most common number. You will see in your questions that number 8 is a 2 cube. And then number 16, that 8 times 2 was just one more factor of 2, so it will be 2 to the power of 4. Now we rewrite this one as 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 5x minus 3. Now 1 over 8 is 1 over 2 cube. That is 2 to the power of negative 3 because you flip it. You make the power become opposite side of what it is. Is x plus 7. Okay. Now we'll work faster, right? We know that it's the same base. The exponent will be the same, and we have to distribute the exponent, right? So that will be 4 times 5x minus 3. That equal minus 3x plus 7. I just skipped the step that I have to write the number 2 right here because that is the exponent with the same base. Okay, so we set the exponent the same. Okay, and then we skip it so we can working on it faster and it's kind of like easier. Now because of that, we distribute. Okay, we continue with 20x minus 12 equal minus 3x plus minus 21 because this is negative. Okay, now we will add 3x both sides. So we combine like terms. So we cancel on the right hand side the 3x. On the left hand side we have 23x totals. Okay. Now we want to get rid of the number on the left hand side so we can isolate the x terms. So we add 12 both sides. So we cancel this, we add 12 on this side. Well, so negative 21 add 12. That will be negative 9. You see that negative 21, okay, is more negative than 12. You only have positive 12, but you have negative 21. When you subtract it, the 21 from 12, the difference is 9. And we have to know that the bigger numbers will distribute to the side of the result. So because of the negative 21, you have the result is negative numbers. Okay, this is the bigger number. Then 12 is smaller numbers. So the result follow the side of the bigger numbers. Now we continue to isolate x by divide both sides by 23. And 23 is the prime number, which means it's only divisible by itself and 1. So the answer is negative 9 over 23. Now, like I said, we should be familiar with the cube list from 1 to 7, right? From 1 cube to 7 cube. And this one, get what? You see number 6. It's already like the small number. So, get what? 2, 16. You know that 6 times 6 is 6 squared is 36. So, if you multiply one more time, you will get 216. Okay, so we rewrite this one on the left hand side, nothing to rewrite because we just keep is as it is. We copy it down because it's already have the basics. On the right hand side, I will rewrite this one at, see that outside is 1/5, okay? Because this is the index number, or is the root 5, okay? And then the power is 1, so 1/5. Now 216 will be 6 cubed, okay? Let's write down. This one will have 5 root 216, that is 216 1/5. Okay, this is to the power of 1. That makes sense? Okay, now we have the same basics, so the only thing we need to compare is, not compare but set it equal, is the exponent. Okay, so 3 times that is 3/5. 3 times 1/5 is 3/5. Now to avoid to work with the fractions, I will multiply both sides by 5. Okay, making sure on the left hand side we have 2 terms, so we have to distribute the 5 for each of them. So we have 5 times 4x is 20x, and we have 5 times 5, that is 25. That equal number 3 because we isolate, or we cancel the 5 at the bottom. Okay, now we subtract both sides by 25. Cancel that. We have 20x, that on the left hand side equal minus 22. Now we will isolate x by divide both sides by 20. Then we'll have x equal, here we have 22 and 20, that is even number, so we know that it can be divisible by 2. So if I rewrite it, I will have minus still right here, 2 times 11 over 2 times 10. This is the reason why I always ask my student to know your multiplication chart, okay, from 1 to 12. Okay, because you may see something similar or familiar to those numbers in those charts, and you can cancel the 2. Now the final answer is negative 11 over 10. Okay, so we see 3, that is the small numbers, and then we look at number 27, that is 3 cubed. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. So we will rewrite this. So the square root of 3 is 3 to the power of 1/2. Because as we know, the index number of the square root, you see nothing, right? But actually it is the square, which is mean 2, okay, right there, and then the power is 1. So you will have 3, the power on the top, over the root is 2. Okay, be careful of that. Now, don't forget the exponent of it. Okay. Now 27, we will rewrite as 3 cubed, and then the x is the exponent outside. Now we have the same base 3 right here. The only thing we need to carry is 1/2 x plus 8 equal 3x. I don't want to work with the fractions as usual, so I will multiply both sides by 2. Why 2? So that I can cancel that 2 at the bottom. Now no fraction anymore. 1 multiplied with anything is just that thing, so I just write that down. X plus 8. Okay, now 2 times 3x, that is 6x. Now I make everything easier. I subtract x both sides. Now I have 6x minus x is 5x. Okay, another side when I cancel is 8. I just switch left side and right side so that is more easy look. Okay, it would be the same thing. So you have a equal 5x, still the same thing as 5x equal 8. It's the same thing, it balances both sides. So now we want to isolate x, we divide both sides by 5. So you have x equal 8 over 5. Okay, so for this number, you kind of like, oh, I have no idea what the base should be, right? But then look at this. You see that 125, we're working on that number before, is familiar with you more than 625. So remember, if you have 125, that is your 5 cube. What happens if you multiply both sides by 5? Okay, so on this side you have 5 to the power of 4 because you have one more factor of 5. Okay, and then on the left hand side you have 5 times 5, 25, right? 5 remembers 2. 5 times 2 is 10, remember 2. It's 12, right? 2, remember 1. 5 times 1 is 5, remember 1 is 6, 625. That's not really hard to memorize. You can always use the logic to memorize it. Okay, but if you know it, if you're familiar with it, then you don't have to kind of like think about it when you see it. It pop up in your head when you see it again. That's the muscle memory or power of practice. So I will rewrite the 625 at 5 to the power of 4. But then I will flip because I don't want to work with fractions. So I will have 5 to the power of -4 instead. See that? We have like 1 over that. When you flip, you have 5 to the power of negative exponent. Okay? Don't forget the outside exponent. Okay, now 125, we can rewrite it as 5 cubed. And remember outside, that is 1/5. Power is 1, okay, and the root is 5. Now the same base 5, we just care about the exponent. So -4 times 2x minus 7 equal 3/5. Okay, now like I said, I really don't want to work with the fraction. I multiply 5 both sides. Okay, now we'll have 5 times -4 is -20. For this part that I'm distributed inside, I will have -40x plus 140 equals 3. Now we'll minus 140 both sides. I will have -40x that equal minus 137. Okay, and then I will divide both sides by -40. This one, x equal positive 137 over 40. Okay, so we checking 137 divisible by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5 is not working. So we know that is like the safe answer to leave on the final answer place. Okay, number 25, we're looking at number 32 and 16, we're thinking about base 2. So 32 is 2 to the power of 5. 4 minus 3x equal 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 7x plus 1. Now we can skip another step, right? We just kind of like multiply this one and this one, we distribute it. And then we have 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times negative 3x is negative 15x equal 4 times 7x, 28x plus 4. What we skip is we skip the step of 2 to the power of 5 times 4 minus 3x equal 2 to the power of 4 times 7x plus 1. And then we write down 5 times 4 minus 3x is the exponent on the left hand side equal 4 times 7x plus 1 on the right hand side. See that I skip those steps because it's already, I can see it on the top right here. So I don't have to rewrite that 2 step. It kind of consumes my time. I just go straight to this step. But if you don't want that, you want to show every single step, you can just write those down, okay? Making sure no mistake in between the step. Okay, now continue. We will add 15x both sides. Okay, then we will have 28x and 15x is 43x. 8 at 5, 13, write 3, remember 1. 2 at 1 is 3 at 1 is 4. 43x. Okay, on the left hand side, we cancel that part. Now, we minus 4 both sides so that we isolate the 43x on the right hand side. So on this side is gone, the number is gone. So 20 minus 4 is 16. Okay, now we divide both sides by 43. So that we have x equal 16 over 43. Okay, now we can check divisible by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5, and we feel like it's not really can reduce anymore, so we just let it like that at the answer. Okay, so we have number 26. This will have you review the definitions of the logarithms. Okay, so we will have log base b of a equals c. So remember, the base is always, this one will be the same thing as the base b. You're looking upwards, you see that is c, then it's equal a. The exponential form of it. Okay, so now we have base b, this is my a, this is my c. So base looking towards c, that is the exponent that equal a is everything 9x minus 5. So you see why I'm asking you to kind of be familiar from the power of 2, from 2 to the power of 1 to 2 to the power of 10. Because you will see this one is 2 to the power of 8. Okay, you can do 2 times 2, 8 times like that to find it. And you know that 2 to the power of 5, that's 32. 2 to the power of 6, that's 64. 128 for the next one. Okay, and then you double that. That's going to be 256. Now this is 256 equal 9x minus 5. And 5 both sides. Now 261 equal 9x. Divide both sides by 9 to isolate x. Now 261. See that 2 and 6 and 1 can divisible by 9. So I will have 9 times something, right? So you go ahead and do the 261. 26 divided by 9 is 2. Is 18 when you go back. Okay. Subtract from that. You will have 81. Divided by 9 is 9. 9 times 9, 81. Subtract, no remainder. So 9 times 29, that is 261. At the bottom, you have 9 times 1. Okay, cancel that part. We have 29 divided by 1, that is 29. So the answer is x equals 29. Okay, similar to that, we have x the base to the power. Look further to the right. Okay, so the power 3 over 2, that equal 125. Okay, remember we have the formula log base b looking to c equal a. Okay, so base to the power 3 half equal 125. Now remember that if we have something like root 2, right? X to the power of 3, you know that you can rewrite x to the power 3 over the root 2 because this is the square root. So the index is 2. Okay, so now you see that this is on the right hand side. Now we can rewrite into the left hand side. So you have square root of x to the power of 3. And also you can write the power outside. Okay, this one also equal square root of x to the power of 3. I will write that down like that in this case because that will be easier to solve for this in this case. That equal 125. Now I will cube root both sides. That's why I have to put the cube outside, okay? So I will cube root both sides. And then I will have my square root of x on this side because the 3 right here cancel the 3 right here. Okay, the square root keep the same. And then this one, remember we have cube root of 125, that is 5 cubed. Okay, you can write out 5 is 3 divided by 3, that is 1. 5 to the power of 1, that is 5. Okay, that's why we cancel this 3 and this 3. Okay, or we cancel this 3 and this 3. That is the reason. Okay, so you have this is equal 5. Now, if you want to solve for x, you have to square both sides so that you will have x equal 25. So some people like confusing, hey, how I got this one to this one. So remember you have square root of x, why the power is 1, right? But remember you have the power 2 out there too. Here the powers. This is the power. And then the index is 2. So you will have x 2 for the powers right here. Okay, over 2 is the index right here. Square root means the index number 2. Now, x to the power of 2 divided by 2, that x to the power of 1, that is x. Anything, you look at it, you don't see the power, but actually the power is 1. Okay, so for example, 5 is 5 to the power of 1. You see 625, that's 625 to the power of 1. So we cause kind of like a letter just to knowing that you can plug in any number in that positions and it keep the statement true. Okay, number 28, similar problem. We have the base 4. Look further, you have the exponent 3 equal to 5x minus 1. And if you know 4 cubed is 64, you can write that down. If not, you can use the calculator. Take 4 times 4 times 4. This part is 16 times 4, that's 64. Okay. So we continue right down the right hand side and then we will add 1 both sides. Cancel that part. We have 5x equals 65. Now divide both sides by 5. Isolate x. 65 divided by 5. Remember, anything end up with 5 or 0 will be divisible by 5. So I know that 65 is 5 times 13. Okay, you can do that. 65, 6 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. Subtract 15 divided by 5, 3. 3 times 5, 15. Remainder 0. Okay, so 5 times 1 at the bottom. Cancel the 5. 13 divided by 1 is 13. It's not necessary to use the calculator, but if you have a chance to use it to making sure you got the right answer, then just use it to checking on your final answer. But calculate without a calculator is a skill, and I think it's helpful. So at the same time, when you practice, just improve your skill. This is the last question in part 3 video today. So we have the same type of question, so we do the same path. Okay, so you see log base, so base 5. Look further to the right, that your exponent equal 7x plus 2. Okay, so we already looking at 5 to the power of 4 somewhere, right? That's 625. And if you don't remember it, don't worry. You can also do 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 4 times, and then doing it. So 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 5, that's 125. 125 times 5, finally, it's 625. Okay? So this is 625 equals 7x plus 2. Subtract 2 both sides. 623 equals 7x. Okay, then divide both sides by 7. You have x equal. Now we're looking at 623. You can think of number 7 because I have a look on that number. It's familiar to me. Okay, so now it should be a numbers in your familiar numbers list. Okay, so if you divide that 623 by 7, you see that 62 divided by 7 is 8. 8 times 7, 56. Okay, because 63 will be divided by 7 will be 9. It's less than 63, so you can choose 8. Okay, now you subtract, you're gonna have 6, and then you have drop the 3. 63 divided by 7 is 9. So you know that 623 divided by 7 is 89. The remainder is 0. So some people said, how do you know that? I mean, if you have your calculator, you can always check by perform 623 divide 7 and then enter, right? And if you have like a nice number without the decimal, that means the whole numbers, that means you will have is like 89 at the answer, right? So that is like the nice number, and you know that it should be your answer instead of the fractions. If you don't have your calculator, how about that? You can always check, right? Just perform the divisions, the long divisions. And like I said, the more you be familiar with the numbers, people common use in the in the question, the more you will be feel more confident to working on any problem, because you already know how it make. What is the product of the 2 number or 3 numbers make up a numbers. So that will give you a hint. It's easier than if you have no clue. So knowing your multiplication chart from 1 to 12, knowing your square chart from 1 square to 20 square, knowing your cube chart from 1 cube to 7 cube or 6 cube, and a few numbers maybe from 1 to 5, 1 to the power 4 to 5 to the power 4 in this case. It will help your brain feel confident with any numbers within those numbers, within the range of those numbers. Thank you for participating in this series and see you next time.